All right, I see you back for episode 12. You're starting to understand that you are in control of your journey. So let's control your journey to a better life. This is the podcast, Motivation Unlocked. I am Mark Black, CEO, the one and the only. And this is where we break through limits. We shift mindset and unlock the life you were meant to live. And today, I want to talk to you about something that doesn't always get enough attention, but it quietly shapes almost everything. Your environment. Not just where you live, not just the room you sit in, but the people around you, the conversation that you entertain, the energy that you stay connected to, and the atmosphere that your heart has been learning to survive inside of. Because whether we admit it or not, our environment shapes us. And sometimes we don't even realize it's happening. But if you're listening to this today, you're listening for a reason. So let me be honest with you. Sometimes we blame ourselves for feeling stuck, when the truth is we've been trying to grow inside of these environments that have been exhausting us. And that's a painful truth to admit, because nobody wants to believe that the people, the places, or even the patterns they've grown attached to might be connected to what's hurting them. But just maybe this conversation, this podcast episode matters more than what you think, because I know what it feels like to want more for your life while feeling surrounded by things that pull you back. I think some of you know that feeling too. You know that feeling where your heart wants peace. You know that feeling that chaos keeps finding you for some reason, where your vision, it wants growth, but your surroundings keep introducing that doubt. It's where your spirit knows you were meant for more. It's yearning to move to the next level. But something around you keeps making more feel impossible. And listen carefully. People don't lose themselves overnight. That's not how it happens. You just don't wake up one morning and suddenly just stop believing in yourself. This happens over a course of time. It happens quietly. It happens slowly. You start settling for conversations that mean you no good. They don't feed your spirit. You start accepting things you once promised yourself you would never tolerate. You stop speaking up. You start shrinking. You start doubting yourself. You start second guessing. You start overthinking. And little by little, what once felt wrong starts feeling normal. And that is where the environments become dangerous, because what surrounds you slowly teaches you what to accept, whether you know it or not, whether you feel it or not. You have to understand what the things around you are showing you. You have to use self-awareness. And I think people underestimate this as well. The environment teaches us. It's not always with words, but it's with repetition. And with repetition comes power. Now, if you spend enough time around fear, then eventually you'll start questioning yourself. If you spend enough time around excuses or people that make excuses, discipline starts feeling uncomfortable. If you stay surrounded by negativity, that peace that you're looking for or that you had, it begins to start to feel unfamiliar. And the scary part about this is that most conditioning doesn't happen loudly. It happens subtly. It's under the rug. That's why people miss it. You don't immediately realize your standards are changing. You don't immediately notice your confidence fading. You don't immediately recognize that your mind has been adapting to survive in environments that never fed your growth. Just maybe, that's where some of you are right now. No, you're not weak. No, you're not broken. And no, you're not lacking purpose. You're just tired. You're trying to stay strong inside of spaces that have been asking you to carry too much. And I want to say something that I hope lands with someone today. Sometimes the issue is not that you don't have potential. Sometimes you've simply been surviving for too long. And survival mode changes people. Survival, in hindsight, it teaches you to shrink. It teaches you to protect yourself, defend yourself, to settle, to stay alert instead of staying inspired. But you were never meant to live your life in survival mode, not your whole life. This is why we have a hardened heart or a hardened exterior. Now, this next part, it might be uncomfortable too, now that I'm thinking about it. But growth and honesty usually meet in uncomfortable places, so get ready. Everybody should not have access to you. And I don't say that with arrogance, I say it with care. We talked about access or having people having full access to you. Now it's access in general, because access matters. Who has access to your mind matters. Who has access to your emotions matters. Who has access to your peace matters. Who has access to become a part of you matters, because that access becomes influence. Influence is powerful. Some people encourage your healing. Others unknowingly trigger you. They reopen wounds. Some people, they challenge you to become better. Others keep you attached to the old versions of yourself. And this truth can hurt. You know why? Because sometimes, most of the time, it's the people we love. They're not always the people helping us grow. It's not because they're evil. It's not because they don't care. But because people can only pour from what they understand. And sometimes your growth, it becomes uncomfortable for people who found comfort in the version of you that stayed familiar, because it reminds them of themselves and how to get better with them. The version that stayed available, the version that stayed small enough not to disrupt anything. And I know that truth is very difficult to accept, because nobody wants to feel like they are outgrowing people that they care about. It's painful. It hurts. It hurts when loyalty and growth start pulling apart, going in two different directions. But hear me when I say this. Outgrowing unhealthy patterns is not betrayal. Protecting your peace is not selfish. And boundaries are not punishment. They are protection. Protect yourself with boundaries. sometimes these environments are home, but it's not our destiny. And maybe this next part is something that somebody really needs the most. Those environments, you can't heal in every environment either. You can't grow in every single atmosphere. You cannot become your highest self while remaining connected to things that constantly pull the life out of you. You know what? Sometimes we stay, not because we're happy, but because we're familiar. That familiar pain can become dangerous because at least we know what to expect. At least we know how it feels. And growth feels uncertain. Growth asks difficult things of us. Growth asks us to release comfort, to disappoint expectations, right? To stop abandoning ourselves just to feel accepted. And if I'm being real with you, that process can be emotional. Because sometimes growth means grieving. Grieving friendships, grieving old identities, grieving environments that you once believed would be the home of your home forever. That's real. I don't want to pretend otherwise either. Because healing is not always loud. Sometimes the healing is quiet. Sometimes healing looks like crying alone on your knees, praying, rebuilding alone, finding yourself after losing pieces of who you were trying to become and it not working. And if that's where you are, I want you to know something. That season does not mean you are failing. It may just mean that you are transforming. Are you ready to transform? That thought process is where hope enters the conversation. Because you are not powerless. You may not control everything around you, but you do have power over what you continue feeding your spirit. And maybe even your environment changes through that distance. You know, maybe it changes through new habits. Maybe it changes through prayer, through reflection, discipline even. Or even finally saying enough is enough. Maybe growth starts with less noise, less explaining, less entertaining things that no longer align. Because sometimes the environment that you need doesn't already exist. You have to build it. And building it takes courage, real courage. The courage to choose yourself without guilt. The courage to stop shrinking. The courage to stop thinking that you're disappointing people when these people only benefited from you and your lack of boundaries. And yes, sometimes that journey feels alone, but there is a difference between loneliness and alignment. I need you to please remember that. Because temporary loneliness can lead to lifelong peace. But staying where you are, constantly diminished, can lead to lifelong regret. So now, I want to ask you something. And I need you to answer honestly. What has your environment been teaching you? Not what you wish it was teaching you. Not what you've been pretending to ignore. What has it truly been teaching you? Who inspires your growth? Who drains your energy? What conversations dominate your life? What habits are shaping your identity? And maybe the hardest question, have you been protecting growth or protecting comfort? I need you to sit with that, because honesty changes lives. And understand this: big transformation, usually small, usually begin with small decisions. One healthier boundary, one better habit, one honest conversation, one decision to stop betraying your own peace. That's how environments begin changing. And when your environment changes, your thinking changes. And when your thinking changes, your life starts changing too. Look, I want to leave you with this today. The environment that you stay connected to eventually becomes the life you live. So look around you. Protect your spirit. Protect your focus. Protect your peace. And surround yourself with people, energy, and environments that remind you who you are becoming. Because growth is not an accident. Healing is not an accident. Transformation is not an accident. And maybe, just maybe, the next version of your life is waiting on the other side of the environment that you finally decide to outgrow. It's powerful. This is Motivation Unlocked. I'm Mark Black, CEO. And if this spoke to you, this spoke to your heart, don't just hear it, apply it. Share it. And keep elevating, because the right environment can change everything.